One quiet evening, Paco lay in bed, reading a book. But then he heard a noise coming from the closet. He noticed a faint light peeking through the crack of his closet door. His curiosity stirred, and he slipped out of bed, tiptoeing toward the mysterious glow. With a steady hand, Paco opened the closet door, and before him swirled a magical vortex of bright colors, blues, purples, and golds, whispering promises of adventure. Entranced, he stepped forward, and in an instant he was swept into the swirling colors, leaving his cozy room behind. He flies in the vortex, and he arrives in the Mayan jungle with the costume for that period. Suddenly, he noticed a young boy peeking out from behind a tree. Paco explains to the boy that he is not from around there, but that he is curious to get to meet his people. Paco walks towards him, but the boy is nervous as he does not know him. He is shy and tries to walk away, but Paco calls for him. Paco explains to the boy that he comes from a different time period, but for some reason he was taken to this place to learn from this culture. The boy relaxed and smiled at Paco, telling him that he may know why he was brought there on this special day. Paco made a new friend, and his name is Itza. Itzel and Paco extended a welcoming hand. Itzel invites Paco to follow him into the jungle. Itzel smiled as he led Paco to meet his grandfather. The elder greeted Paco with a warm, kind smile that made him feel right at home. "Welcome, Paco," he said. "Today is a special day, the day of the equinox, a time to celebrate and honor Kukulkan, the feathered serpent. We must gather flowers from the jungle to offer at the temple as gifts for Kukulkan. I have already prepared fruits and vegetables for the ceremony." Excited, Paco and Itzel raced into the jungle, their eyes wide with wonder as they entered a garden full of bright, colorful flowers. Together, they picked the most beautiful blossoms, carefully gathering them into their arms. When their hands were full, they walked back through the peaceful jungle, feeling proud of their offerings. As they emerged from the jungle, Paco noticed a grand pyramid in the distance, its stone steps stretching high into the sky. It was El Castillo of Chichen Itza, a temple dedicated to Kukulkan. Seeing the excitement in Paco's face, the elder started to tell him the story of the temple. The elder pointed to the steps, his voice deep with reverence. He explained that there are 4 sides with 91 steps on each side, and including the temple at the summit equals 365 in total, one for each day of the solar year, just as counted in the Mayan calendar. The Mayans, he said, were skilled in tracking time. He spoke of how, during the spring and autumn equinoxes, the sun cast a shadow on the pyramid that resembled a serpent slithering down the steps, a symbol of Kukulkan descending from the heavens. The elder explained that the Mayans built the temple to align with the movements of the sun, creating a bond between the earth and the sky. They believed that the universe was a living being, with the stars as its heartbeat, guiding them through the cycles of life. Paco listened in awe, realizing that the Mayans were not only builders and farmers, but also astronomers and philosophers who looked to the stars for wisdom. He marveled at the thought of a civilization so advanced, who understood the cycles of nature and lived in harmony with the universe. Paco gazed in awe as the elder explained the incredible significance of this sacred structure. Itzel's grandfather tells the boys to place the flower offerings with the rest of the offerings. As the day passed, the village gathered around a great bonfire, dancing to the rhythm of drums and flutes. The flames danced in the air, casting a warm glow on the faces of the villagers. Paco joined in the celebration, moving with the rhythm, and watched as offerings of fruit and flowers were placed at the temple steps. As the celebration came to a close, the villagers gathered their offerings, arranging them in woven baskets filled with fruits, flowers, gold and silver jewels, as well as small trinkets made of jade and turquoise. Together they walked through the jungle, carrying the gifts. This cenote was an entrance to Xibalba, the Mayan underworld, and tonight they would offer their gifts to honor and appease it. As the first light of dawn appeared, Paco knew it was time to return home. He gave Itzel a hug and said his goodbyes, a nod of gratitude for the journey and the lessons he'd learned. Itzel and his grandfather are sad of his departure, but happy to have been part of his life. Stepping back into the swirling colors, they waved their goodbyes. The magical vortex reappeared, swirling beside him, casting a warm light on his surroundings. Paco left the ancient world behind, but he knew he would carry its wisdom with him forever. Moments later, Paco found himself back in his bedroom, the closet door slowly closing. He crawled back into bed, his heart full of memories. He got into bed and he drifted off to sleep, the spirit of Kukulkan guiding his dreams. Paco had learned that respect for others and their traditions brings us closer together. No matter where or when we come from, we can always find common ground in kindness, gratitude, and a willingness to listen. With this lesson in his heart, Paco knew he was part of something bigger, a world connected by stories and friendships that span time itself.
Wow, what an adventure, right? If you enjoyed traveling through time with me, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on our next journey. And hey, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me which time period you'd like to visit next. Let's plan a trip together. I love reading your comments. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell so you're the first to know when our next adventure begins. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. See you soon, time travelers.